Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a dark reaction. Episode 5. We're about ready to go. But before we do that, I'm gonna talk a little bit about some stuff that I thought about. But not as much as 20 minutes because that was a lot. Previous episode, that was a lot. I had a lot to talk about. But this time, okay. There are two things that I thought about that I should mention. The first one is previous episode I actually went down the rabbit hole of Nena's song. I don't remember the name of the song. It's a German name, but it's the song that played, and it was like falling through the roof of space and time or whatever. That song. So then I watched the episode, and in that very episode we had we just had basically a confirmation that black holes are in here somehow related. So after the fact, I thought about we had we had two references to spinning, I guess. The first one is You Spin Me Right Like a Record. You Spin Me Right Round Like a Record by Dead or Alive. That was the first song that we heard on episode 1 with Eric when he was just laying on the bed. That was the first song that we heard. And if we are going down the road of these songs actually have some meaning, which the Nana song I believe it did, that means that if I want to go down that theory, I also have to give credit to You Spin Me Right Round Like a Record by Dead or Alive. So that's spinning, and it's like, all right, what does that have to do with anything? So here's the thing. Episode, was it 3? Was it 3? I think it was 3. When we had that guy that was like performing like a autopsy, biopsy, whichever one is that you perform on the dead, he was performing one on the ship, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this ship's fucked up," and it's like, "Why?" And he was like, "Well, here's like inside ears rupture," and he actually gave explanations as to why that could happen. And at the time, I was like, "Oh, the shockwave." But one of the explanations he gave, and then was immediately thrown away, it was sandbagged as all hell, was, well, this happens when you spin too much or something like that. I think I actually didn't check before going in. This is just what I barely remember because I remember thinking about that and I was like, "Oh, that's stupid." But now I'm connecting dots. So now I'm like, okay, so that could be a thing, maybe. But that's not what made me think about this. This is not the final dot. The final dot is black holes. So, I actually do know what happens when a black hole eats a star or a sun, or, well, sun is a star, but I actually do know what that looks like, and that tells you how it works. So, whenever a black hole eats something, it's not just like it absorbs everything in it, just like from all sides. It actually looks like it's spinning. So the way it works is that you have a black hole, and then let's say that the sun is here, and then like you see like a trail of the sun is getting eaten into the black hole, and it's doing a spiral on it, around it, and then it disappears into it. That's what it looks like. I remember that shit. I remember looking at that, seeing like a picture, and I thought it was cool years ago. And I was like, okay, so that's how a black hole works, I guess. This previous episode, we thrown black holes into the mix. I mean, black holes were already kind of in place, but this time they were basically confirmed. So now that we have black holes, and then I thought about what does a black hole look like in my mind. And what it looks like is that image of the black hole eating a star, and then it's spinning, like doing a spiral going into it. So it's like, okay, so like a black hole is like it's not eating everything like this, it's eating everything like this into it, like a spiral. So things are spinning going into it, and you have to assume they are also spinning inside of it, right? So imagine it's like a portal, but inside the portal is like a whatever. It's just spinning at all times. So those are the 3 dots I'm connecting now. You Spin Me Round Like a Record by Dead or Alive, 1. The guys say, "Oh yeah, your Earth shifts when you spin too much," or something like that. I think 2, and black holes eating stars 3. That's the dots I connected. That doesn't tell me anything. Well, maybe tell me something, but I don't have all the information. So all I can say is just throw shit and be like, "Ha! I figured something out," which I didn't. But dots. I figured dots. Didn't figure the puzzle solution, but I figured the dots. So we have that. So that I said it during the review of the previous episode. I actually forgot, and then when I was editing the episode, I was like, "Oh, I did mention that." It's the fact that maybe the entire, like, I would say city, but at this point planet, because it's a black hole. Maybe the entire planet, maybe the entire fucking solar system, all of reality in the show is inside a black hole. A black hole showed up and we just disappear inside of it. Because a black hole, no matter how small it is, well, I'm not an astrophysicist, but I'm pretty sure that if a super small, tiny, like, invisible to the human eye black hole just showed up, like, right here, the entire planet would just disappear in a blink. And maybe even more than that. Like, that's what I think would happen. But, so. I'm thinking, I think everyone is just stuck inside a black hole or some shit. And this show might explore what's inside a black hole, which is something that they already said at the beginning of the previous episode. It's like, what the fuck is inside of it? What is time? What is space inside of it? What does it look like? Is it gonna be a transcription normal time, normal space? And it's like, fuck no, it's a black hole. Like, a black hole doesn't work by anyone's rules. Fuck physics. Fuck all those shitty laws that we come up with to understand them. Nothing makes sense inside of that. So, my current theory is all of reality slash planet slash galaxy slash the city slash people individually are inside of a black hole. I don't know. And they are affected by what a black hole is, by the effects of being inside a black hole, which is time and space are warped, and nobody even knows about it because it's so fucking warped. That's it. That's my current theory that I have going on. I don't know what the show is gonna do, so like I'm not giving it specifics because I can't give it specifics. I can just say shit, and maybe I'll hit something. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll try to be real quick with this, is something that I actually thought about, like, last night / this morning, like a couple hours ago. And I forgot, and then I remembered, like, before recording, because I was like, oh yeah, there was something I wanted to talk about. It's another theory that I have, and I think it's pretty likely, is, okay, so last episode we actually got introduced to a cult? Question mark? I think it's a cult. It seems like a cult, so it might be a cult, but I'm not sure if it's a cult. So if it is a cult, it's like, okay, who are the members of the cult? What does the cult stand for, right? It seems like the cult are just killing people, right? But there has to be a reason for it. A lot of the talk with time, with space, with the beginning is the end is the beginning, and everything is connected, and the time loop or whatever. Okay. Theory that I'm gonna throw in. The members of the cult are the people. Okay, no. Let's start from the beginning. I think that what's going on, and one of the things that could be, is we're following all of these characters, and all of these characters have lived one life. One entire life. Right? They live one normal human life, and that's the end of that. But when they die, they don't actually die or something like that. They get warped at some point in time / space, or time space or whatever, right? Because in a way you can't escape the black hole. Well, I don't know about that, but they get like dispersed through time / space, or maybe even not when they die. They just get dispersed and they can't ever leave. And it's like they are trapped in a specific fraction of time, maybe even space, and so they can't go past that or before that. So there is a time loop happening, but what's going on is that people manage to leave past the time loop and remember that. So what I'm thinking is, okay, this is difficult to explain, but it's very simple. The people that we have followed thus far are people that just live their normal lives, but at some point, some of them might live past a time loop and remember it, and then we're gonna see them again living at the same time as their first version of themselves were living as. So essentially, so we have one character, this is their timeline. They go, and then they reset, and then they reset to the very beginning point, and then we have two lines of the timeline of the same character, if that makes any sense. So, I think that the characters we have followed and the characters we're going to meet are going to be the same character, except that this is the first version of that characters, and then we're going to see the second version of those characters, and then the third one, and then the fourth one, and they're just going to loop over and over and over again. And I guess we're just going to find out that everyone is just like the same person or some shit. And like the people in the cult are people that have lived past the time loop, remember it, and want to change it, or want to kill themselves or kill everyone in order to save and escape the fucking hell purgatory life that they're living because of the time loop, right? So that is the other theory that I thought about this morning, and I was like, oh, that's good. That could be it. So yes, I think that's all I needed to talk about. That still was pretty long. Fuck. Okay, I think that's all I needed to talk about. So we're getting ready to watch episode 5 of Dark, and I feel like we should just go and do that. I feel like I should just go before I go on for too long saying dumb bullshit. Alright, so getting ready. Dude, like 2 days ago was my birthday. So happy birthday to me. And I might be getting a new phone. That's not a confirmation. Because Argentina economy like crashed hard like 2 weeks ago. So everything skyrocketed again. So it sucks. But I might be getting the new phone. And if that's the case, I'm going to be real happy. Because my phone right now just it's not working anymore apparently. So, alright. I'm ready. So Dark. Yeah, Dark. Season 1, episode 5. Let's go. That was a shitty snap. Let's go. Oh, this is the past. And if... Okay. The two investigators. Oh, she's been obsessed over this man for a while. Well, not obsessed. She probably just had a crush. That's it. Not afraid. I like that apparently we're going back to the past. 22 unanswered calls by Hannah. Like, girl, he doesn't want to talk to you. Come and talk by Mara. His phone screen is broken. That might be a thing, but my phone screen is also broken, so I'm not one to talk.
The same thing happened with Yazin today.
Yes.
Today he left home alone, and he disappeared somewhere
along
the way to school. I know you weren't at the office. If you had anything to do with Mikkel's disappearance, or Eric's, or Yazin's, then tell me now.
Your husband's part of the cult.
You're insane.
Bitch, what? She pulled the receipt in your face and went, hey, I know you're full of shit. And then he went, nah, fuck you. Fuck you, Peter, you suck. Uh-huh. Back to that. What the fuck is that? Oh, the thread of... I actually did... Okay, so black hole. So I actually did look into that. They were saying, we're following the thread of Ariadne. And I was like, who was Ariadne again? And it was like a Roman goddess or some shit. And she was like the labyrinth maker. She created labyrinths. But that was her thing. And so I'm looking at that and it's like, oh shit, yeah, that's a labyrinth, alright? Alright, who is this man? So, top 3, Mikkel. Matt Jonas. Or Ford, someone that we don't know. This kid found the phone earlier. That's his entire like character in play, is that he found a phone that belonged to Eric, and we haven't deciphered the password yet. What's gonna happen? That phone's getting a... Okay. I'm into it. What are we doing?
Hello, Bartosz.
Oh.
My name is Noah.
Oh.
How do you know my name?
I'm from the future. I know all sorts of stuff. I know exactly what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna cause it.
I wanted for Katerina.
Hannah.
What the
Can
fuck
you
is that?
please
place?
deliver this for me? Here locally.
Are you leaving already?
I have to go away for a few days, but I'd like to keep my room if I can.
Of course. That won't be a problem.
It needs to be delivered by this evening. It's urgent.
Yes, of course.
Okay. The fuck is that? Oh, it's to Jonas.
I'm in contact with Eric's dealer. And I'm gonna meet him tonight.
You
Oh
doing
my
what?
god.
Watch out. Shoot him. It's a trap.
Anyway, I'm going there tonight. And I want you to come with me.
What the fuck is this watch? Like, I wanna know. A priest man. With a dumb hat.
I'm Noah. I'm a priest at St. Christopher's Parish. Ines called me. But now and then it's good to question those who question things. God has a plan for every human being,
This is a weird
including
priest.
you.
I would not trust this priest. I would not trust that he is a priest either. Stop thinking about my dick, bitch.
Don't think that I'm just gonna let you go.
What is wrong with her?
Bam! Right in the face, you know? Yeah. And in the end, you think they became friends because it made a bond between them. But they're really just stuck in their little pigeonholes.
Maybe you want to see it again with me. Hey, are you even listening to me?
Yeah. Let's talk later, okay?
Okay. That phrase, no future, is...
It's gonna be
I've seen it a couple of times already in this show. The fact that he has that shit in the back of his fucking jacket and nobody pays attention to that, I'm like, okay. This might be a bad wolf situation.
Can't he stay here in the hospital for
Oh,
a
she's
bit?
gonna adopt him. She's gonna adopt him for sure.
That's just not an option. But I can assure you
Confirming.
that the staff there at the
Confirming my
hospital,
theory.
be able to attend very
Proving
specifically
right.
to his needs. It's for the best. You have children?
No. Somebody died right after birth.
I'm very
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, she does not have children, and Michael should exist at this point in time. Therefore,
Or his school.
Mikkel's Michael.
We'll find out where the boy belongs.
Though the fact that she had a son that died on birth, that could come back in some way, shape, or form. I just don't see how.
Cheat on my wife.
Hmm?
My son's vanished, and I can't do anything. 33 years.
That's rough.
Everything is the same. Only now, I'm the incompetent asshole.
It's almost like
Have you ever
time
heard of the
is
cycle
repeating.
of 33 years?
Hmm?
Our calendars are wrong. A year isn't 365 days long, so we're always a little out of sync. But every 33 years, everything is just as it was. The stars, the planets, the whole universe returns to the exact same position.
I'm not sure the universe. Maybe our system, but
I have the same feeling again now. That everything is repeating,
what's the giveaway? The dead bears? The dead ships?
like a gigantic deja vu.
Yes. It took us 5 episodes, but we're getting there. Characters are realizing things. Hi.
You look like him. Your father.
Okay. This is a weird scene. I was not
Do
expecting
we
it.
know each other?
He's you.
No. But I knew your father. It was a long time ago, but I knew him well. He saved my life back then. Only I didn't understand that until later. Life is like a labyrinth. Some wander around in it their whole lives looking for a way out. But there is only one path and it just leads deeper. You don't understand it until you reach the center. Death is incomprehensible, but you can make peace with it. Until then, you should ask yourself every day if you've made the right decisions.
Jonas is like, what the fuck, stranger man? What the fuck was that? Okay, is he you? He said, I knew him a long time ago, and he saved my life, though I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until later. How did he save your life? Who are you? Okay, so Mikkel is gonna save someone, maybe. Hannah is gonna meet Mikkel. Which makes sense because the end. I am not afraid. Yeah, that is the book that Ines had in the future.
Do you know what I imagine sometimes? That I can do magic.
And Mikkel is like, did you say magic?
Houdini?
Yeah! Oh, he's gonna do magic
There's
again.
no such
Her
thing as
panties are
magic,
just gonna drop.
just illusion. Things only change when we change them. But it has to be skillful, in secret. Then it seems like magic.
Where did you learn that?
I come from the future.
Like, right away. Then Hannah knows that he was in the future. I mean, she just doesn't believe that shit, because who would? Right here? Right here in the gym, which is exactly the same. It's exactly the same his fucking son Magnus did with the other chick. Really, she's just right there.
The spinning wheel turns in a circle, round and round. Each fate tied to the next. A thread, red with blood that stitches together all of our acts. Chains that can't be cut. An invisible bond.
Yeah, you need to go get drugs for your boy Bartos. You forgot. Oh, you're just gonna leave him hanging. Noah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Noah is even the priest. It could be someone
Many
else.
nights he tugs at it.
Did she wait for him to end the call? To keep going?
I wasn't in France. I was in the nut house. It's called post-traumatic stress.
Why didn't you say anything?
I didn't want you to think I was a freak or something.
Everyone in this town is a freak. It's fine. Please don't get right to fucking, like, again. Just, like, right away in public. Like, nobody gives a shit in the show. Please don't do that.
I'm Bartosz.
I know. And I'm Noah.
He hasn't aged. He hasn't aged at all. Alright, he's a time traveler, for sure. He has to be a time traveler. Has he aged or has he not aged? That hand looked old, but I might just be overthinking that. It could just be normal. That's the sketch. Noah. There it is. And there it is! So we just have a completely new character in play. It's weird. Because I got the feeling that we had already been introduced to, like, everyone. But I guess we haven't. I still think I have a crush on fucking
touched her
someone
breasts
else.
and then laid on top of her. And she didn't want it.
That's a lie. But then you just go to... But then you just go to the girl and ask her and go, hey, did this happen? And she has to say no. Just go to the girl and ask her. Not to Ulrich directly.
He choked her, and her face got all red. He pulled down his pants and he started to...
You don't have to go on.
You did right in telling me.
Just ask Katarina and she'll be like, no. Hannah, what the fuck? Well, no wonder he hates the fucking cop. But why are you fucking Hannah? Well, I guess they never found out that it was Hannah who said that shit. Because otherwise, fuck this bitch. Not literally. That's the problem. He did it literally. Wait, did that actually happen? Or am I crazy? Am I crazy? Was it just not paying enough attention? And that actually happened. What happened to Bartas now? Like, I don't think Bartas got drugs. What the fuck did he get? What is the deal with this mysterious figure? That it might not or might not be Jonas? Oh, it was delivered. What is it? Is it a time machine? Quote unquote. Like the thing that looks like a Lafrena cell? Is it a bomb? Is your house just gonna get nuked? Huh? What the Is that to just go into the caves and see better? That sounds futuristic, dude. The sound effect that thing had didn't sound like a regular lamp. Huh? A letter. This is the letter from Inez.
Dear Jonas, by the time you read this, everything will have already happened. Irrevocably. Things can no longer be changed.
This is Inez's letter.
I would have liked to have explained things to you sooner.
How did it get to Jonas?
But I hope that once you understand how everything is connected, you will understand my decision. The truth is a strange thing. You can try to suppress it, but it will always find its way back to the surface.
Here we go.
We lie into our own truth in order to survive.
This is the reveal.
We try
I already figured it out.
Until we can't
twice,
any longer.
But this is the proper reveal.
We don't know even half of the mysteries in this world. We are wanderers in the darkness. This is my truth. On November 4th, 2019, I traveled through time to the year 1986. The boy from the future stayed, and in time he became a man. Mikkel became Michael, who never knew where he belonged. By the time you read this, I'll already be gone.
Mikkel?
Both as a boy and as a man. I hope you can forgive me. Everything is connected. Mikkel. Michael.
But how did the figure of Michael just show up? Like, when Mikkel disappeared, Michael showed up for like a second. And then he saw him again when he was looking into a mirror or whatever. Again with this dude.
How can I help you?
I would like to talk to you about time.
What's that? There we go. I knew it. I fucking knew it! I'm so smart. I'm so fucking smart. Okay. Here we are, then. Dude, okay. Alright. Alright. I'm actually kind of happy about that. I'm actually kind of happy about how that turned out. It took 5 episodes for the truth to get there. I figured it out in like 3. It's okay. It's only 2 more episodes of dragging on. So so before I started watching the show, I was told, watch the first 5 episodes, please. And I was like, I mean, I'm gonna watch the entire show, right? But the fact that I was like, okay, episode 5, something might happen here, and the title of the episode is Truth. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna find something out, and we didn't find anything new. We just got confirmation as to what my suspicion was. So I guess I was in fact ahead. with that theory that I threw. To be fair, I went hard on that theory. I throw many theories around, and most of them are gonna be wrong, but that one I went hard in because we went to the past and we didn't see Michael, and then I was like, Mikkel, oh fuck, dude, like that's it, that's it. I got it. I fucking got it. The thing is that so it might have been bad the fact that I actually did check the names of the characters because Michael, like, okay, so at any point in episode 1, the name Michael came into play. I don't think it did. I haven't rewatched the episode fully, but I don't think it did. I think that it was only shown in the credits. Michael Conwell, right? So I guess if you actually wanted to know the names of the characters, then you would check that and then you get them. But the episode itself, I don't know if anyone says it. They might say it. I don't know. They have talked about him before, but I'm not sure if they ever reference his name. But then, in this very episode, we do see the name Michael many times. So at the very least, I would have figured it out by now. But, like, the fact that we don't see him in the past is already, like, incredibly suspicious. Because, okay, so the way I figured it out is, I figured it out because of the name. But then I went hard on that theory when we didn't see Michael into the past, and now Mikkel is in the past, therefore Mikkel should be someone. And I'm like, okay, who could it be? Oh, it would be awesome if he was the main character's dad. And it's like, yeah, he was. You know, he fucking was. Because that guy knew something. Like, Michael knew something for sure. That was the mystery. And the fact that they never actually explained that, I'm like, okay, it has to be him. Come on. And I'm glad it was. I'm glad that was true. I'm very happy about that. Yes, this episode was great. Just because it vindicated me in that regard. So that's the main thing about this episode, is that we get a confirmation as to Mikkel/Michael. God, I love that shit. I love that shit because it reminds me again to Back to the Future 2 when fucking Doc disappears back into the past because he got hit by a fucking lightning. And he traveled back to 1885, and then, like, the moment he disappeared, a random guy shows up and he was like, oh, I was told to bring this letter at this exact point in space, at this exact time, down to the exact minute, and the guy named Marty should be here, and we bet, and we didn't think Marty would be here, but here you are, so here you go. And he was like, Marty, if you read this, I travel back in time, like, I don't know, like 50 years into the past or whatever. I don't remember. Yeah, like 70 years. And that is so cool. That is so very cool. And Michael did the exact same thing. Like, Michael totally would have gone and seen Back to the Future 2 in the cinema because he was he traveled to 86 and Back to the Future 2 came in 89. So yes, he totally would have watched Back to the Future 2 in the past when it came out. He would have been like, is this the dog and Marty just time traveling? He's like, this fucking full of shit. 2015 doesn't look anything like this shit. This sucks, man. Oh man, that's so good. Okay, now I'm thinking about stupid shit, but okay. Alright. Okay, stuff we need to talk about. More cryptic shit was said. Okay, no. Thing I need to immediately go back and check is, did Ulrich beat Katharina? Or am I crazy? Like, I mean, she was into it. Did that change? No, they were super into it, both of them. So no, yeah, they were both super into it. So yeah, Hannah was full shit. Because like at the end, you see, I thought, okay, give me a sec. I need to check this again. Because at the end, when Hannah says, "Oh yeah, he beat her" or whatever, we see the parallels between past and future. Yeah, we see Hannah and Hannah. We see Ulrich and Katharina. But Katharina looks like she's beat up, I think. It does look like she's beat up in the eye. Am I crazy? She looks upset and looks beat up. So, like, the lighting is not doing this shot justice either, because I'm not sure if it's the lighting, I'm not sure if it's weird makeup, I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like she was beat up. So I don't know. Maybe they were playing rough. I don't know, man. Like, was Hannah full of shit? Like, I would assume that Hannah's full of shit. But that one shot of young Katharina is just laying in, I think, bed, and she's just looking up, and you see, and her left eye looks fucked up. So I'm like, did he beat her off screen and we just didn't see it? And the show is just trying to make me feel anger towards Hannah, because fuck that bitch. But she was actually telling the truth all along, and she saw something we didn't see off screen. I don't know about that. So I'm like, maybe I'm just dumb. That could just be it. Maybe I missed something while watching it twice. But I don't know. I'm just not gonna say anything about that. But dude, Hannah, what the fuck is wrong with Hannah? Like, Hannah is like the most unlikable character in the show. Maybe not. Who's more unlikable than Hannah? Ulrich's dad, maybe. I mean, we don't know a lot about that guy, to be fair. There are a couple of unlikable characters in the show. Also, was it Francisca? Fucking policewoman's daughter. Yeah, Francisca. Francisca's really unlikable, too. She's pretty. She's like the prettiest character in the show, but she's very unlikable. Alright. So, okay. What does this sort of talk about? Okay, people love to fuck in public places, at school. They love to fuck at school for some reason. That's weird. Don't do that. Don't do that, Germany. Like, we continue to see parallels. Like, everything is the same every time. Everything is the same, and the characters are actually referencing that at this point. So it's like, okay, this might be a plot point. It could just be symbolic. But it could be a plot point, honestly. Like reality is warping in a way that things will happen again in the exact same manner. Like, they have to happen. Like, bites the dust. Again, I'm referencing JoJo. So, in JoJo, there's an ability called bites the dust. That what it does is that again in the exact same manner. Like, they have to happen. Like, bites the dust. Again, I'm referencing JoJo. So, in JoJo, there's an ability called bites the dust. That what it does is that it basically creates a Groundhog Day. So things happen, and then something blows up, or someone blows up and dies, and when that explosion creates a time loop, and it resets you 1 hour back in time. But the terrifying part of bites the dust is that like, you are resetting and living through that exact same hour again, like Groundhog Day. But everything that happened during the first time loop will happen again in the second. And then someone else will blow up. And then you go back to a third time loop. But everything that happened in time loop number 1 and 2 will happen again in time loop number 3. And that goes on until it is cancelled. So that ability is just terrifying. So I'm thinking maybe something like that is going on. Like, we're all under the effects of bites the dust. It is a Groundhog Day, except it's not a day. It's a Groundhog 33 years. And when whenever something happens, whenever we reach a specific point in time, we reset back to the first day of the 33 years, and then everything goes on again, but it's exactly the same. That was a loud-ass bite. That was really loud. Okay. It could be something like that. It could definitely be something like that. I'm still going hard on the, like, a black hole, like, inside of the black hole spinning theory. That is a good one. Okay, no. The stranger... Okay, couple things. The stranger actually talked to Jonas, okay? The stranger talked to Jonas. That was a weird scene because I was not expecting it. Jonas was just sitting there in a bench looking at his dad grave, and then the stranger came by and he was like, hey, you look a lot like him. And I was like, okay? And he was like, yeah, your dad, you look a lot like him. And Jonas was like, do we know each other? And he stayed silent for like 5 to 10 seconds before saying no. So I think that they do, and I think it's not only that they do, I think that is him. I think this stranger might be Jonas, for sure. Because of this one line of dialogue. Because the stranger said, I knew your father a long time ago, and he saved my life, though I didn't know it at the time. What does that mean? I think that Mikkel, like, okay, so that night in the first episode, I think Mikkel, like, took the time travel instead of Jonas. And Jonas stayed the same normally, and Mikkel time traveled. And in doing so, he saved Jonas from time traveling himself. So I think... Yeah, I think that what he was referring to is that Mikkel saved Jonas by time traveling himself instead of Jonas. And I think that is Jonas. I think the stranger is Jonas, probably. Jonas in the future, though it is in the present. So... It's weird. It's weird. Jonas might time travel back in time, but I think Jonas actually just grows up normally, or he time travels into the future or some shit. Like, Jonas, I think... Okay, so Mikkel clearly knew some shit. Alright? Mikkel clearly knew some shit because he time traveled, and he knew he time traveled, and he questioned things, and he knows a lot of shit. And he ends up killing himself. Okay, so that's the thing. Why does Michael kill himself? Does he kill himself? Like, that's even a question. Like, is he dead? That's my question. He could not be dead. Like, he could just have time travel when he died? Question mark? Like, I don't know. I theorized that at some point. We still haven't gotten questions as to why the killings are happening. So that could be the answer. Or it could just be a matter of I can't interfere with when I disappear in any way. So I'm just going to kill myself before that happens. Right? Or... No, he kills himself because he knows he has to kill himself. Because he remembers that Jonas's dad killed himself back when he was a kid. Oh my god, dude. Like, here we go! Here we go! I haven't even thought about that shit. Causal loop, motherfucker! I forgot about causal loop. The reason why Michael kills himself is because Mikkel remembers that Michael killed himself. And then he realized, oh shit, I'm Michael, I have to kill myself. That's how it works. It has to be because of that. I mean, there could also be like a secondary reason why. Or, like, there probably is another reason why. But he knows that Michael Conwell kills himself. He knows the date. He knows the month. Because he's lived past it. And he knew Jonas. He was friends with Jonas. I remember that. Like, they had like a secret, like, fist bump or some shit like that in episode 1. Like, they hang out. So he knows that Jonas's dad kills himself. So it's like, oh fuck. And then he realizes he becomes Michael, and he's like, okay, I have to kill myself at this exact point. And he probably made preparations for that in the ladder. He knows I have to kill myself here. That is how it's written. So I have to do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I can't not do it. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe he would be like, maybe I would rip the universe apart if I do that. But maybe he knew more. Like, I don't know. Like, oh boy. Realizing that made me question many, many more things. Okay. I fucking love Causal Loop, dude. Causal Loop is the shit. I talk a lot about this in episode 4 of series 9 of Doctor Who. Causal Loop was a big thing in it, and I was like, yeah, that's my shit. That's my shit. Bootstrap paradox, whatever you want to call it. It's awesome. Okay, so. Alright. Michael and Mikkel confirm. The stranger, I assume, is gonna be Jonas. Like, that's my guess. But I'm basing that off of nothing. Like, I'm basing that off of what would be cool to have him be. And I'm like, it could be Jonas. And I'm like, yeah. And, like, it's that one line of dialogue. It's this one interaction we had when Jonas was like, do we know each other? And he's like, no. The fact that it took so long, I'm like... And then the fact that he goes like, oh yeah, I knew your father a long time ago. He saved my life, though I didn't know it at the time. So it's like, that tells us that there is a story with this mysterious man. There is a story that we're going to have to go back to at some point, or have him reveal in order for it to make sense. For this line of dialogue that he gave to make sense, right? And the one that I'm thinking about right now is that we know Michael is Mikkel, therefore... Like, what we know that Mikkel has done is he time travel. So I'm like, maybe he took it instead of Jonas, and that's why he time travel, and that's why he saved Jonas's life, though Jonas didn't know it yet. But he knew it afterward. Wait. But how did Jonas get the letter? The person who sent the package was... Okay, we need to focus on that piece of shit letter. The person who sent the package was the mysterious man. Yes, we saw that. He had the package and he was like, can you send this today? It's important. So, and then it was sent, and Jonas got it, and there was a lantern, like a light, just a straight up light, that looked futuristic as shit. I don't know if that's a thing. I assume that's a thing. I assume lights like that are a thing. But the sound it made felt futuristic. Maybe they just went hard on sound effects for no reason, but it sounded futuristic. He also gave him like another thing that I'm not sure what the fuck it was. It was like a yellow box thing. Initially, I thought it was like a thing that you used to like inflate, and I thought the light was a fucking balloon. So I thought it was something that was inflating a balloon, and I was like, what the fuck? But no, and then the letter. And the letter, like, the envelope the letter was on looked old, I think. I think it looked old and open. It was open and it looked old. Right? Yeah, yeah, dude, that's an old envelope. That's an old-ass, open-ass envelope. Okay. They're open for number 4 at 10:30 p.m. So that's the same. That's the same that Ines got. Because then we flash back to Ines, I think. So, and this letter was destined to Jonas, not Ines. I guess the contents of the letter could have been changed. No, the letter itself looks old as shit too. So I think what happened is... Okay, so now we're getting into some Homestuck shit. Now it's like, okay, we have the letter. What is the progression of time that this letter went through? So, okay. what I'm assuming is that this letter, Michael wrote it, then Ines got it, then Ines opened the letter, read it, and saw everything that said, and then and then the letter just existed. The letter was just there, and then I think that the stranger from the future got the letter in the future, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years from now. He got the letter from that point, and then he brought it back to the past and gave it to Jonas. Because this letter looks old, I think. I don't think Ines sent it, because the stranger sent it, not Ines. So why would the stranger have the letter? And he would have to send the letter, because if he is Jonas, then he would have remembered that he got the letter, so he knows that he has to do it. Because that's how time works. That's how causal loop works. Okay, I'm going hard on the causal loop shit, dude. Like, but because we know that causal loop is a thing. We know that. Dude, like, I want to go back and watch the first episode, and it's gonna be some wacky shit, knowing the stuff that was just confirmed. Really. Yeah, what the fuck is that light? What the fuck is the yellow thing? It's the thing that you... Oh, I know what it is! I think I know what it is. I think it's a radiation meter. I think it's a radiation meter. Is it not? It just tells you, hey, dumbass, you're gonna die if you go past this level. I think that's what it is. Okay, let me Google this shit. I need to know. I need to know. A radiation meter. A radiation detector. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is a radiation detector. Okay, I'm glad I'm not a dumbass. I'm glad I actually checked it out and figured that out. Because I was like, I don't need to inflate balloons. Like, what do I need this for? It's a radiation meter. So yes, that is gear for going inside the cave. That's exactly what that is. It's a light, and it's a radiation meter, and it's like, go in. And the confirmation of time travel, for sure. The fact that the stranger was the one to give this, that came from Michael, it's like, the stranger has to be Jonas, dude. Like, come on. I guess it could not be Jonas. It could just be some rando, but it could just be some rando with knowledge of the future, and so he knows what he has to do in order for the future to happen. Like he has like a checklist, and he's like, all right, I need to send this shit to Jonas. Check. I need to have that weird conversation with Jonas before sending the stuff. Check. All that stuff. He could be that. It could be some dude from the future that, like a time agent, and he needs to make sure that everything happens in the way it was supposed to happen. Okay. Now, what the fuck is the final scene when we go to this place where there is a dude making fucking watches? This is a watchmaker. He's making some motherfucking watches and clocks and other time shit. Yes, that's what he does. And then the stranger shows up with this fucking suitcase, and he goes, okay, so the watchmaker was, how can I help you? Which, to me, tells you they don't know each other. And the watchmaker also, it sounds like a shop. It looks like a shop. And now this asshole goes, I'd like to talk to you about time. This motherfucker's a time traveler for sure. Like, he's a time traveler for sure. I just don't know from where or who is he. It could be Jonas, it could just be no one. Right? He could be Mats. Like, that's the thing about Mats. We don't know what the fuck happened to Mats. Okay, no. So we need to go... okay, the other thing we need to talk about that I think it's very important is a new character entered play, and that happened. That happened in the episode before. We actually found out there was a character by the name of Noah, and that's all we knew, really. We knew Noah, and we knew that there were people that were abducting children, I think, in the name of Noah, I think. That might be a cult, I think. This episode, we actually got to see Noah. We got Noah revealed to us. So, the first thing we see Noah is Noah's talking to Mikkel. And that is a weird-ass conversation, because he's like, do you believe in God? And Mikkel's like, no. And it's like, you're a cynical 10-year-old, but okay. And Noah goes like, oh, but how do you think things happen? And he was like, the Big Bang created it all. But it's like, what created the Big Bang? And then Mikkel goes silent. It's like, yeah, it's good to question things, but you also should question the people that question things. And it's like, yes, but also fuck you. You seem like an asshole. Like, Noah seems like such an asshole, I think. So we have that. And then Bartos gets a call on the phone that Eric had from Noah. And he knew that he was talking to Bartos. And he asks to, like, make a meeting with Bartos. And Bartos tells Jonas to go with him. And then Jonas fucking disappears, leaves him hanging. And then Bartos just goes along and he meets him, and it's Noah, and it is the exact same person that we saw 33 years ago talking to Mikkel. The exact same face. He hasn't aged a single bit. So time traveler, again, it has to be. So to be fair, there was a shot focusing on his hands, and I'm not sure if those were old people hands. Maybe his face is young, but his hands are old. But that doesn't really, like, that's not really time travel-y. That's more like he's a vampire or some shit like that. And I don't think that's the case. Like, I don't know, like, my hands are like super smooth, so I don't know about them bony hands. So that might have just been his normal hands. Sorry, actor who plays Noah. I'm talking about shit about your hands for no reason now. So I'm just gonna move on. So, character of Noah is in play. It's weird that we are introduced to more characters, like, now. Like, it's weird that we're seeing a character for the first time in the 5th episode. Because I don't think we've seen him before. Maybe we have, but I don't remember. But I don't think we have. Like, I think there's the first time we see him, and it's weird to introduce him in episode 5. Because I feel like this show should have introduced everything already, and now we do the weird shit, right? So it's weird that he shows up this late into the season. Late. Halfway. But, alright, whatever. Like, he's in play. He's in play, he's a time traveler, he knows some shit. I think he's the leader of the cult that is killing people / disappearing children, and apparently they act all across time. So, I don't know. He sounds like such an asshole. He sounds like the antagonist. I don't know if there's even gonna be an antagonist in the show, but he sounds like the closest thing to it. And then there's people who are fucking cultists, I guess, and on board with this shit. Peter! Fucking Peter! Forgot about fucking Peter. Is that his name? Fucking Peter? Dumbass, asshole, piece of shit Peter? Yeah, Peter, the fucking... I was about to say Peter the psychologist, and I thought of The Room. So, like, I mentioned it was my birthday, like, 2 days ago. Yeah, and I actually wanted to record something special for my birthday, and I wanted to watch The Room. 2003 masterpiece classic The Room by Tommy Wiseau, and like, watch it and record myself while doing so, because I always meant to watch that movie because it sucks and it's fantastic. And I actually got really sick and I didn't, and I just watched it, but I'm not gonna be putting a video on it. And I just had a blast. It was a fantastic movie. It was great, and I had a blast with it. And Peter the psychologist is a fantastic character in that fucking movie, because Peter shows up and he doesn't do anything because no character in that fucking movie makes sense. But Peter the psychologist is fantastic because the actor decided to just fucking quit the movie halfway through it. Halfway through the movie, Peter just disappears, and another character shows up, and he gets all of his lines, and that's it. That's the end of that. So the fact that we have Peter the psychologist in the show as well is really funny to me, because he also sucks. So yes, Peter the psychologist sucks, because at the very beginning of the episode we have Charlotte, policewoman. Charlotte questions their girl, I think it's Elizabeth. Yeah, the young girl, Elizabeth. Is it? Yeah, Elizabeth. They question her, and she questions her, and it's like, tell me what this man looked like, and which worked out because she gave them a sketch, a really nice sketch. So it was like, okay, that's good. But then Peter was like, that's not how you talk to our 9-year-old daughter. And I'm like, okay, Peter, I understand that it's not good to break the news that your fucking 9-year-old boyfriend is missing and probably dead to your 9-year-old daughter like that. But at the same time, fuck you. We need the information, right? Whatever. And then Charlotte is angry. Of course she's angry, because what the fuck, right? Everything. So she tells Peter, she asks Peter, where the fuck were you in the night when Mikkel disappeared? And Peter's like, I don't know. I was at the office. Until what time? 11 p.m., which is when you called me. And then she was like, okay, I have this picture. Here's your car. You were not at the office at that time, that day. Where were you? I don't care where you were. Just tell me you weren't involved. And Peter is like, how dare you? And then he walks away. And I'm like, that is the moment when you fucking handcuff this bitch. Charlotte, you're police, and I understand that this is your husband. But also, this is the moment when you fucking handcuff this bitch. Bring him in and question him properly. Because he dodged that question, and you have a sufficient amount of evidence, and you just fucking nothing. I guess what Charlotte is doing is that she doesn't want anyone to know about what she found, right? Because I remember the previous episode, there was that one dude with the fucking, not the eye patch, but he had like a bandage on one of his eyes for some reason. Like, that might come back. And he asked Charlotte what Charlotte was doing, and Charlotte was like, oh no, nothing, I'm good. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm good, don't worry about that. And then he left, and Charlotte was like, I found the fucking picture with my husband in it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. The other thing that I actually thought about, and dogs are barking, as usual. So, the other thing that I thought about, that I forgot to mention, is the fact that, so, we are being led to believe that Peter has something to do with this shit, and I think he did, but we are led to believe that that was Peter in the car. But it might not be, because we don't see Peter in the car. We only see the car, and we see the plate, and we know that's the car, and we saw Peter, like, cleaning, like, the red soil or whatever from the car, so it's like, okay, all of this is suspicious. But we don't see that the person inside of the car is Peter, because the image is blurry, so it could be someone else. Peter could have just given his car to someone else. Hell, the car could have time travel as well, for all we know. But Peter is definitely up to something. And the fact that we are sandbagging Peter's, like, suspicious self from the story is like, I hate it. Charlotte, fucking handcuff this man and interrogate him properly. I understand that you don't want people to know that your husband is a piece of shit. But fuck that bitch. Okay? Alright. Okay. What else? Is there anything else worth talking about? I guess I thought it was really cool the fact that We continuously went back to the past in this episode. Like, half of it happened in the present, half of it happened in the past. Oh, dude, when fucking Hannah met Mikkel, the first interaction was Hannah walking up to him and going like, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And I'm like, "Bitch, like, something is wrong with this girl. Like, a lot of things are wrong with this girl. She's incredibly... She's manipulative. What the fuck was that word I just say? She's incredibly manipulative. Yes, that is a word. She's a bitch. She's incredibly superficial. She wants everything to be the way she wants it to be. She snitched on Ulrich on something he didn't do. Okay, so I want to see... So there is this entire scene at the theater with Martha saying shit. And it could mean something, but I don't know. My mother told me about the old world. She said it had been of a different kind, foul. She would braid my hair and recount harrowing tales of my father and of the demons from the underworlds. She said all is forgiven but nothing forgotten. Then the darkness in her eyes was greater than usual. That all occupied its own space in the past as in the here and now. When she spoke in this manner, something would overcome her. Something that tugged her at her from the center, that shrouded in shadow although it was too real for her. The old world came to haunt her like a ghost. From then on, I knew nothing changes. Round and round in a circle, you spin me round, round, like a baby, like a round, round. Bit burns, yet something remains behind that cannot be severed. Bonds, whatever. Okay. Sure. What else? Like, that means nothing. That is a bunch of gibberish. Like, that's it. This show has a lot of gibberish that doesn't mean anything, and it's like, come on. Oh yeah, like, the fact that we have the reveal of, like, Michael is Mikkel at the end of the episode, but you clearly get told here, like, right here, at minute 20, halfway through the episode, you get told, "Hey, Ines, do you have children?" And she's like, "No, I don't." And it's like, fuck you, that tells me already that Michael is Mikkel. Like, that absolutely 100% confirms it. Because, like, Michael should have existed at this point, right? He should have at least been a kid. So the fact that she went like, "No, I don't have I don't have anyone," that immediately means, okay, she adopts Mikkel. Mikkel is Michael. That's it. That's 100% it. So, the fact that we have a reveal at the end of the episode, but halfway through it, it was already confirmed. And to be fair, if you're casually watching this, and binging it through Netflix and nothing really matters too much, maybe you're not thinking too hard about that. But I was, because I'm doing this shit. I'm doing this show, this reaction thing, and I have to talk about it. That means I have to think about it, which means I wasn't gonna escape, right? I maybe don't pay attention to a lot of things, but when it comes to thinking about stupid shit and theories, I'm there, okay? I'm there. So, yes. What else? More Hannah shit. Fucking Noah the priest. Okay, Noah's hands look old even in the past. Well, old, quote unquote. Maybe they're not old, maybe I'm just crazy. So, yes, that doesn't matter. The fact that fucking Hannah went to their house and just brought food, and she was like, "Hey, I brought food, everyone. How are you guys doing?" It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Hannah, get off Ulrich's dick. Get out from there. So the thread of Ariadne, the labyrinth, the black hole, when is Mikkel, all that shit. What else is there in that board? In that board that the mysterious person has? Wait. What the fuck is that? I actually didn't realize this. Okay, so that doesn't... They don't explain that. They don't even focus on that so that I could actually get an understanding of what that was. But the mysterious person... There is like a board on his desk and the wall with the thread of Ariadne and the black hole and whatever the fuck. There is this one thing that has like a number on it. It's number 6. And then he takes one away and it's the number 7. And of course that means it's counting up. What is it counting up? My assumption would be it's counting up the days he's been here in this time. Or the days since Mikkel disappeared, I guess. So it's... I assume that that's what it is. So it is 7 days since then. Maybe. I assume that's what it is. It's like a calendar thing. He's counting the days. And after 7 days, he left. I do want to say, though, that he left... And, like, when he left, he talked to... I think it's Regina. The woman that is on the counter for the hotel. I think it's Regina. I think it's Bartas's mom. And she's like... Yeah. And she's like, oh, you're leaving already. And he's like, I would like to keep my room. Yeah, he's like, I'm leaving for a few days, but I would like to keep my room. So I think he's actually like leaving for a little bit and he'll come back. Or he's planning for a character, maybe Jonas, to come to his room and find some stuff that he left there, maybe. However, information to Jonas hasn't been given on the fact that he has to go there, so maybe not. I think he time traveled and then he's gonna come back. Now, I guess the main question is, when the fuck is like that watchmaker thing with the watchmaker dude who looks like a fucking like crazy doctor or a crazy scientist that is just making watches? He has the fucking big glasses and he's like, oh, what can I help you with? And he's like, I'd like to talk to you about time. And it's like, yeah, I know time travel is involved, but I want answers as to when are you? Who is this watchmaker? Because we've seen him one time before. We've seen it in episode 3, I believe, at the end. And it's like, that means nothing. Like, we saw him creating the Gallifreyan looking thing, but I don't know what that is. I don't know who this person is. I don't know where we are. So, no questions. I mean, no answers. A lot of questions, no answers. So, that's the end of that. I think we're done. With this stupid episode. The red, like, ribbon thing. It's not a ribbon. It's like a cord. The red cord that Jonas got. I don't know what that is from. I guess there's nothing else to talk about. I guess that's it. Peter sucks. The Mikkel thing. The Bartas thing. The Hannah thing. She sucks. Get off Ulrich's dick, please. The fact that the mysterious person decided to get the package and travel away. Jonas and Bartas were playing a video game. I don't know what video game that was. Noah. Like, that's the thing about Noah. I don't know anything about Noah. So that's sad. Hannah. Katharina. The mysterious person talking to Jonas. Okay, I want to see this again. Okay, he just walks in. He sits right next to him. And he goes, do we know each other? He just looks at him. He looks at him for 5 full seconds, staring at him before going no. I knew it's better, but it was a long time ago. but I knew your father. It was a long time ago, but I remember him well. He saved my life back then. But I only understood that much later. Yeah. I think that's you, bro. Life is a labyrinth. Some people wander around their whole lives looking for a way out. But there's only one path and it leads you even deeper. You don't understand it until you reach the center. Death is incomprehensible, but you can make peace with it. Till then, you should ask yourself each day if you made the right decisions. Yeah, the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And I guess, like, it's like, okay, why did he come and just tell him that? And I guess the answer is because he knows he has to. I'm going hard on the fact that the mysterious person is Jonas now. Like, I am 95% buying into that theory now. I'm 95% sure that that is Jonas. And all of this shit that he's doing it because he knows he has to. Because he remembers him doing so. So he just says all of this cryptic shit, and that's the end of that. Okay, death is incomprehensible, but you can make peace with it. What the fuck does that mean? It might not mean nothing. It might just be symbolic. Again, Labyrinths, always references to Labyrinths. It's a good movie with David Bowie in it. He has like a giant bulge in it. I remember reading someone that was like, it was... I'm just going on wild tangents. I remember seeing like a funny post of like a girl saying, I came out as a lesbian and my mom said it's all that fucking David Bowie's fault because that girl used to have nightmares about David Bowie's bulge following her because of the Labyrinth. And she was like, it's fucking David Bowie's fault. And I'm like, that's funny. Alright, enough about David Bowie's dick. Yes, I think we're done. Hannah's dad looks like a pedophile. He looks weird. He has like the long hair and the fucking mustache. It's the mustache. It's the mustache, the one that sells the look. I hate it. But I guess it was the I mean, even in the 80s, I guess the mustache was more as a 70s thing, wasn't it? Then the whole thing with Hannah, the police, like the package, the lantern, the radiator thing, Michael Mikkel, and then the scientist dude. We're done. All right, that was a long discussion because there is always a lot to go through with these fucking Dark episodes. So I guess we're done. Again, everyone, thank you so much for watching this reaction to Dark. If you want to see more, you can always check out my Patreon, where the next episode will be up as well as full length. Other links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Take care.